All in favor? Any opposed? Can we get a roll call?
Ms. Williams?
No.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
President Pratt?
Yes.
Ms. Bullock?
Yes.
Dr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Parks?
Yes.
Ms. Stockley?
No.
Motion carries 6-2.
The ayes have it. I need a motion to appointment of alternate zoning hearing board member, Ms. Darcy Thompson. Hold on, Thompson or Thomas? Thomas. Ms. Darcy Thomas. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Can I get a roll call?
That's all right. That's fine.
Ms. Williams?
No.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yeah.
President Pratt?
Yes.
Ms. Bullock?
Yes.
Dr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Parks?
Yes.
Ms. Stockley?
No.
Motion carries 6-2.
Can I get a motion to advertise the ordinance regarding zoning change at the SEPTA trolley loop?
Isn't it 3 people that's applying for the alternate?
Yeah, but it's two, appointments. The other person, I can put on, want me to read the name? Okay.
So
You good, Ms. Tracy? Tracy? You do? Okay.
So this is, there was a presentation that was done, and I think all of you were involved in, regarding SEPTA and trying doing an overlay. So this is just a motion to advertise the ordinance regarding the zoning change at the SEPTA trolley loop. You just advertise it, you're not voting on it to approve it, and then SEPTA will be back next month to do finalization preparations on it.
I'll make that motion.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. I need a motion for resolution 2026-002, office space Borough Hall.
I'll make a motion to put it on the table.
Madam President, may I ask, what is that resolution? I personally know, but just for transparency's sake, I want to make sure the community is aware of what that resolution entails.
Actually, in order to do a motion to table, there has to be a motion pending and then seconded first. So
Got a motion in a second.
that was, ma'am, that was a motion to table.
Yeah.
But you can't table a motion when
Okay.
something's not pending.
Right.
I am right, thank you. There has to be a motion and a second, and then your motion will be a motion.
Table.
Right.
You gotta make the motion. It's a motion to take his office away and give it to that.
There was a motion.
No le motion para
There has to be a motion.
So withdraw.
She doesn't have to withdraw, it's not a problem.
Communications
No, no,
report.
no.
Is it table?
So it's resolution 2026-002, office space Borough Hall. Can I get a motion?
What's the motion?
To give-
What is the resolution? I want to know what the resolution
Cover
is.
the trash.
She said I got a motion.
What the resolution entails.
Read the resolution.
Can we read the
Into the
resolution
record.
already?
When it's a second, then it's the proper time to ask the question. It's been a motion, there's not a second yet.
Thank you. So I have a motion, can I get a second?
I second.
This is a resolution of the Council of Darby designating and assigning office and functional space on the main floor of the Borough Hall for certain elected officials and administrative offices pursuant to the Borough Code.
Certain. Did we find
Whereas-
who authorized him to draw this up? We have a right to comment on matters that are on or before the board. That resolution was not published in the agenda. we have a right to question that
That's
prior
under
to
letter
your
H.
vote.
It's under
That's
letter
the
H.
Sunshine Law, 708.
Whereas the Borough of Darby is a borough organized and existing under the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, including the Pennsylvania Borough Code, and whereas pursuant to APACS 1101, Borough Council is vested with corporate powers and the authority to exercise all powers of the borough not denied by law, and whereas pursuant to APACS Section 1202, Section 3, Borough Council has the power to acquire, hold, manage, and control borough real estate and personal property, to make rules and regulations as may be necessary for the care, management, and use thereof, and whereas pursuant to APACS Section 10064, Borough Council is charged with providing the proper administration of borough affairs and the transaction of borough business, and whereas pursuant to APACS Section 1141A, the borough manager, where appointed, is responsible to council for the administration of the affairs of the borough, placing the managers charged by council, and whereas Borough Hall constitutes municipal property used for the transaction of borough business and the provision of governmental services to the public, and whereas Borough Council finds that the designation and assignment of office and functional space within the borough is a proper exercise of its authority, and whereas Borough Council further finds that locating elected officials in essential offices on the main floor of the Borough Hall promotes efficiency, accessibility, transparency, and orderly conduct of business. Now therefore be resolved, and it is hereby resolved by this Borough Council, this is resolution, that designation of main floor, the main floor of Borough Hall is hereby designated for the primary use of elected officials and core administrative officers of the borough. The lower level of the Borough Hall is reserved for the exclusive use of the Darby Borough Police Department. Section 3, elected official space. One office on the main floor of Borough Hall is hereby designated for use by the mayor of the Borough of Darby and Borough Council. Section 4, one office or functional space on the main floor of Borough Hall is hereby designated to the extent practical for the use by the president of the Borough Council and the vice president. Section 5, administrative offices and departments. Office or functional space on the main floor of Borough Hall is hereby designated for the Code Enforcement Department, the Borough Manager, the Borough Secretary. Administration and implementation. The Borough Manager is authorized and directed to administer and implement this resolution, including the assignment and configuration of specific rooms or workspaces, consistent with applicable laws and appropriated funds. Nothing in this resolution shall be construed to create a permanent or exclusive right to any specific office or space. If any provision of this resolution is hereby invalid, such invalidity shall not affect the remaining provisions, and the resolution will become effective upon the date of adoption if council decides to so adopt.
I have a quick question before that motion is before Madam, Mr. Solicitor. Sure.
Somebody said.
I would like to make a
A
motion.
quick question first before you table that, may I? If you don't mind, Councilwoman? Before you request a table? Well, I have a few questions about the motion first. I noticed that on this resolution, there's no space for the mayor to sign.
That's correct, the mayor does not sign resolutions, the mayor
Yes,
signs
they
ordinances.
do.
No, the mayor.
Yes, they
I've checked some
do.
other resolutions in the past. that
You
have the
took it
mayor's
away from
signature.
them.
I also saw in other municipalities, the mayor signs resolutions.
Yes.
But I'm talking about in Darby specifically.
Okay.
In some past resolution, I'll provide you copies, happy to.
That's fine. The
the
Borough Code doesn't require the mayor's
Oh,
signature.
stop.
Okay,
Stop.
but historically speaking, mayors in Darby have signed resolutions.
Correct.
So I'm curious as to why this particular mayor is not afforded an opportunity to sign this particular resolution.
Taking away your authority.
Was a
The one
retaliation.
that gave you out.
No, so to answer your question, if you saw a resolution that was signed by the mayor, it was like a proclamation. It wasn't a business resolution.
No, Mark.
That's not
No,
true.
Mark.
No, Mark.
I saw
I signed a
resolution.
million of them.
She was a former mayor and she signed
Don't
the
tell me.
Yeah. So
Mayors sign resolutions.
I'll bring
and
it to the
ordinances.
resolution.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Okay.
With all the
Stop,
documents.
just stop.
So even when I'm here with the mayor.
Oh my God,
Okay,
does
just
Lucy
Richard.
control you that much?
Okay, so, okay, that's my first concern. My
Follow
first
the
concern
vote.
is there's not a signature for the chief exec, the CEO of the community, the chief executive officer of Darby Borough is not signing this particular resolution
Correct.
that's
Oh,
being
wow.
advertised.
Right.
I think that's a
Took it off.
disgrace to our community.
Exactly.
And I think we should all be ashamed about that.
Yes.
I'm not for the resolution. I do plan on vetoing it. But outside of that, I think, no, it's
wasn't
Madam
voted
President,
yet.
hold on, it wasn't tabled just yet. Can I get my question and my point across?
Go ahead.
I think it's an embarrassment for us, for the chief executive to be treated in that manner. But I also I do want to also make note of the fact that this particular resolution was not advertised for our community. You know, I saw it on the borough's website, but it was only there by name. The community wasn't privy to what we're here on council are privy to. This particular language of this resolution was never advertised. The community don't know what this resolution entails.
know. We
And
don't
they
know.
need to know. They need to know. That's what transparency is. This was supposed to be advertised on our website,
Yes.
in all of our local media,
Yes.
in every single way we can.
Yes.
That's what people do. They've been
Yes.
I just went to Collindale's meeting yesterday. That's how they operate. I went to so many other municipalities meeting. That's how they operate. We cannot be doing stuff in silos and doing political work on our government time. This is not okay. This is not okay. It was not advertised. It was also not brought up. We just had a committee meeting on the 4th. That was the last meeting where I was verbally assaulted by the council member. This was not brought up at that meeting. We had a committee meeting. Why was this resolution not discussed in that committee meeting? You know? So this particular resolution. That's my point. This is a direct violation of the Pennsylvania Sunshine Act, but it's also a direct violation of the Pennsylvania Borough Code. I understand how you may feel, Madam President, and I understand my colleagues on council may feel certain way because of political differences, but I do want us all to know that for the interest of our community, passing this resolution, that's a stain on your particular name and your record. You're literally you're helping to violate, to put our community in the worst light. Because right now, Darby is on the rise. A lot of people are paying attention to Darby, and to be honest, it's because of the work we're doing. You know? Sure. But anyway, I say that just to say this is a violation. I want my colleagues on council to know that this is a violation, and if you are in support of this, I need you to understand, make your own decision based on what you know. Based on what you know is right and wrong. I understand there are people that may feel, they control other people. I understand there's people that may feel that, they have to follow the leader. You don't follow somebody into a burning bush. This is gonna be a detriment to our community. This is gonna bring bad press to our community. This is gonna bring bad everything to our community. We don't want to be that community that turns into a laughing stock. Darby has been at that in the past. We are finally on a potential uprise. And if we continue to focus on political differences instead of doing the people's work, we will go right back to where we were the laughing stock. When we're on the news on the federal news or on the state news for issues such as people fighting at council chambers, issues such as all kinds of different things. We don't need that in our community, and so I strongly encourage my colleagues on council to please table this motion and let's have a conversation about how we can treat the mayor even if you don't like Jawar Don, respect the office of the mayor.
Yes.
It's not about Jawar. Respect the process. Respect the process, the government process, not the political process. We are the government. We have to focus on doing stuff the way the laws are already said we're going to do it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Councilwoman Tracy made a motion to table. Is there a second? All in favor? Any opposed?
Can we get a roll call, please?
You don't run the meeting, no.
Everybody takes a roll call, Lucille. Come on. Grow up.
So there's a motion to table pending before council. And I vote is a vote to table. Nay vote is a vote not to table. It's a non-debatable motion, so there is no discussion.
So, can I get a motion?
It's been moved and seconded.
Okay.
All right. Everybody knows this is the roll call on the table, the resolution. All right. Ms. Williams?
This is the vote to elect.
This is the table, table.
I mean, yeah, to take, yes.
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 Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
6 or yes?
President Pratt?
You
Excuse
said
me,
not to table?
can you let me, do this, please?
Yes.
She said yes. Thank you.
No.
Ms. Boyd? Dr. Thompson?
No.
Ms. Parks?
Yes.
Ms. Stockley?
Yes.
Motion to table carries 5-3. So the motion's tabled.
Good job.
Good job.
Good job. It's a start.
Yeah.
Communications and reports. The fire chief's report, Darby number 1.
Hi.
Hello.
Good evening.
During the month of January, fire company responded to 116 calls for service. There was one fire in our borough. On January 29th, just prior to 5 a.m., Company 4 and our mutual aid were dispatched to 850 Main Street for a reported building fire. When the engine company got there, they found a small fire in the second floor apartment kitchenette. They quickly extinguished the fire, and our mutual aid assisted with evacuation and ventilation of the building. There were no resident or firefighter injuries reported. Spring is around the corner, as we all know, thankfully. Please ensure that you have your HVAC units serviced by certified technicians, and also remember to have all of your dryer vents professionally cleaned out. That is an easy way to prevent a common cause like house fire. This concludes my report. Yes, ma'am.
Did you say spring is around the corner?
Thank y'all.
Where is it?
I'm ready for the beach.
Where is it?
Thank you.
Tax collector report, Mr. Day.
Tax collector's report for February 18th. For taxes collected in January, real estate tax, $79,928.12. Fire tax, $3,723.47. Library tax, $1,489.38. Total taxes collected for January, $93,655.18. The sewer fees, $44,375.65. The trash fee, $31,623. Total fees, $80,496.26. Total tax and fees collected for the same period, $174,091.44. Madam President, we need a motion to transfer $44,375.65 from the tax fund to the sewer fund.
Can I get a motion?
I'll second
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
That concludes my report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Solicitor's report, Mr. Gibbs.
Good evening. This evening, council, the mayor met in executive session to discuss pending litigation. I asked to go into a public hearing for the two proposed ordinances. Madam President, we open the public hearing.
Open up the public hearing.
First ordinance is an ordinance of the Borough of Darby adopting and accepting Londonderry Lane, Coventry Avenue, Shakeland Road, and Glen Cove Road as public streets of the borough and authorizing their inclusion in the Pennsylvania Liquid Fund Fuels Tax Fund inventory. This will be adopting roads so that the borough can get more liquid fuels tax. Is any questions or comments about that ordinance?
Comment. Is this because of the income level of that Cedar Village?
No.
Because they were excluded before, right?
No. The issue with that is they've never been on they've never been considered a public highway. They've
Right.
never been adopted, and then we have to pass an ordinance to adopt them, so this is why we're finally doing it. So we're just including these last couple of streets to finally adopt them.
Okay.
That's all this is for.
What does that entail? What does adopting entail?
It means that we pass an ordinance and tell the state that these are our streets, they're public streets.
It adds into our calculation for liquid fuels allocation again.
Any other questions on this ordinance? Second ordinance is an ordinance of the Borough of Darby authorizing paid parking in borough-owned parking lots and along the 800 block of Main Street, authorizing use of parking kiosks, mobile applications, and other mechanisms to collect parking fees. It's kind of lays out what it is. It's an ordinance allowing for paid parking in the parking lots in the 800 block of Main Street. Are there any questions or comments about that ordinance?
Comment.
Well,
Is that the side where New Walnut Street is? And does that include the municipal parking lot behind Bennett's and over by, behind Sharon? All three parking lots?
Yes.
And what's the company? What's the company for the kiosk?
T2 systems. We're currently using them for our handheld, big target ticket devices down there. You also just pushing it into that though. It'll be all barcode. No more meters.
Any other questions or comments? I'm sorry? Yes?
With the business owners have a parking spot. Yeah, you put your money in the joint and put it in the front.
Section part.
I'd ask you to close the public hearing and let there's other comments.
The hearing is closed.
Mark, which one do you want to adopt? One second. Thank you. I ask for a motion to adopt an ordinance number 819, ordinance adopting and accepting the roads as previously discussed and authorizing their inclusion in the Pennsylvania Liquid Fuels Tax Fund.
Can I get a motion?
I make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
I'd ask for a motion authorizing ordinance number 820, adopting ordinance number 820, an ordinance of the borough authorizing paid parking in certain borough-owned parking lots and along the 800 block of Main Street.
Make that motion.
I, Tracy, is seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
I'd ask for a motion authorizing settlement in the matter of John Rainey versus Darby Borough et al. The council discussed in the executive session a proposed settlement amount with the insurance company. Once that settlement amount is accepted, it will become a public record, but until that time, it's negotiations.
I'll make that motion. I, Tracy, is seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
I'd ask for a motion to authorize the acceptance of a lien funds for the property located at 510 Fern. The lien was $1,400. They wound up owing us $3286,624, which would be the interest calculated from the date the lien had and the fees and costs associated with it.
Make a motion.
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Back briefing documents, Madam President. That concludes my report, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. Police Chief's report, Chief Gage.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Darby Police Department total cost for service for January was $1,291. Top calls for service were area and building checks 255, medical emergencies 150, traffic and parking problems 152, suspicious person circumstances 80, domestic disturbance calls 52, vice disturbances disputes 55, mental health 31, public service police information calls 165, abandoned vehicles 45, motor vehicle accidents 45, 911 hang-ups 12, alarm calls 26, all other calls 223. the bus patrol, Darby Borough Police Department, William Penn School District, we partner with Alert Bus Program, Bus Patrol. Violations for January for bus patrol were 97. Yes, sir.
Every month.
And parking tickets issued for the month were 128. That concludes my report, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. Manager's report, Mr. Consent.
Thank you. Couple of things going on. I spoke to Mercy Fitzgerald, spoke to the chief of the EMS today. Mercy Fitzgerald was requesting a approval to temporarily utilize the fire lane located outside the main emergency entrance as a drop-off site for incoming ambulances. The request is necessary because they are planning to replace the emergency generator fuel tank, which is located underneath the ambulance bay. The project's going to take approximately 8 to 9 weeks. The project is that's in Yaden, but where they want to park their vehicles in the fire lane is in Darby Borough. But what they'll do is they'll drop off the patients in the fire lane, walk them into the walk-in entrance of the emergency department. After the patient's transferred, the ambulance will be relocated to a parking spot adjacent to the north lobby entrance. I'm requesting council to authorize Mercy Fitz to utilize the fire lane during the time period to utilize the fire lane during the duration of the project. That's what I'm
How long the project is?
8 to 9 weeks, hoping to start, depending on weather, I believe they're hoping to start at some point in March.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Second one is SEPTA requested a letter of support. They're applying for a grant that deals directly with the Darby Transportation Center. The remodel and everything, they're looking to request a $25 million federal grant with they have an additional $18 million in state and local funds to redo the transportation center reconstruction project, which the majority of you saw during the presentation a couple weeks ago. So I just need a motion to
I'll
authorize
make
it.
that motion.
Second.
What's the motion?
Chuck?
Motion is for a letter of support, to authorize a letter of support.
You gotta
Was you
state.
listening?
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Here, here's a
The
secret.
the ayes have it.
Did you upset?
Tracy, you have a question?
That's the only other thing. Just a comment, just so everybody understands. I'll let you know that when I do the minutes, I follow Robert's rules, which is section 48, sections 1 through 16. And there's one section there that does state that the minutes should contain mainly a record of what was done at the meeting, not what was said by members. That's what I've been following for the last 26 years we've been doing minutes. That's why the minutes look like they do. I try to summarize it the best I can. The mayor asked to look into an AI program. I'll look into it. I don't have a problem with that at all. And I'll bring it back to you with the cost and everything. We can see if it's feasible for us to do. But I have been following Robert's rules. So I summarize your comments. Like tonight, I'll probably be writing for 6 days.
Of course, if you follow everything I said, yeah.
But I'll summarize what you said. I'm not going to, it's not going to be word for word.
Yeah.
Borough
But there are
Council had-
particular points that needs to be
Yeah,
referenced.
exactly.
That's,
So I think
I particularly
I
say
think-
those
I think
things.
that-
You know what, and I'll be honest with you, not to interrupt you, Mr. Gibbs, but the thing that would really help me is if you guys did reports before, like you do a type-up report, because then it's easier for me, like if you want to get everything in, I can always say, see attached, mine, plus what was said. And it'll be attached to the minutes, so it'll be an official record. So
Gotcha.
reports work, the chief gives me one, the solicitors, engineers, we get the report, you guys see the report. So
Gotcha.
it does help me, it would help me out greatly if we could do that.
I'm
So,
looking forward to doing that when I get this office.
there you go.
And under Roberts, if you want to have something noted under Roberts, you can say, note for the record this particular thing.
Yes.
And that will be something,
But
but
I'll do that work.
I thought I did that last meeting though, that was my point, that I wanted that on record, but I know now.
But I do want to address that, and then the only other thing I will address though is about the resolutions and ordinances, about the advertising. Just so everybody understands, Governor Wolf, when he was the governor, he passed a bill to get rid of a tax ordinance. If you weren't increasing taxes, you were allowed to now do it by a resolution, which was saving municipalities money because it's not required to advertise a resolution. So, just on that, resolutions don't require the advertising. Ordinance, absolutely. No more than 7, no less than 7, no more than 60 days for an ordinance.
That was something passed by Governor Wolf, you're saying?
Governor Wolf passed that.
Do you know the name of that bill?
I can tell you section 3301-1.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a tax, it's called the tax levy, it was a tax levy resolution. I definitely did it for that. But it was bad. It's a tax loan resolution. Resolutions involving tax levies, debt, or substantial fiscal matters usually require advertisements for public notice.
No, I wrote it down so I can research it myself. I'm gonna look
It's
into it.
actually section 3301-3, letter C.
Hold on, can you repeat that one? 33-01 dash
3301.3, little letter C.
3, little letter C. Yes, and I understand even if that's the case, we've advertised resolutions in the past. You know?
I never advertised.
Okay.
I never advertised. Ordinances, yes. Resolutions never been advertised. So, all right. I'm sorry. That's all I have. It's almost done. Sorry.
All right. Lastly, all I wanted to say is this, so the public understands as well, and it's not a shot towards you, Mayor, but training, PSAB offers training. If we take time to go to training, things are not the way they were 30 years ago, 10 years ago. So we can't go on what happened back then. You go to the training, it's very good training. I've gone, you still learning stuff. And I was at the training, you should have been there, and it tells you the role of the mayor and the role of the council.
Oh, sure.
And it's a lot.
That's okay, that's okay.
It's
Training.
Listen, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay, listen. Madam President, that's okay. That's okay. So listen, it's not a shot. I didn't take it as a shot.
And I think you got the book.
I want you to understand, I've actually been on plenty of training on my own dime, not taxpayer dime. I do that often. You know, I've been to plenty of them, Madam President. I don't know, maybe the training ain't working for you. Look at how you act. Maybe the training ain't working. You never follow the training.
I second it.
Thank you, boss.
Good night, everyone.
You need to take the data need to go for that training. You carry the data for the training.
Thank you for coming out. Our next scheduled meeting is a committee meeting on
Take the
March
data
the
for training.
4th,
He needs training.
6 o'clock.
He's
Council
very
meeting
good
is
person on
March
the major.
18th
Take it for training.
at 7 o'clock. Thank you.
You need to take the data for training. Even friendly for the
Did you know 1 in 4 patients who take opioids long-term become addicted? Opioids are strong pain medications like oxycodone, hydrocodone, or morphine. They can help with pain, but they can also lead to addiction and overdose. In our community, we help each other. But when it comes to prescription pain medication, such as opioids, sharing is